Welcome to the porch of the Whiskey Granny, where the glasses are full, the stories run deep, and the company is as smooth as the pour. Here we taste, we reminisce, and we let the evening drift by without hurry, because every sip and every memory deserves its own time. On this episode of the Whiskey Granny, we are going to the base of what makes bourbon. I have White Dogs in front of me, or what you would call new make. They come from several different states. We're going to be trying from Michigan, Colorado, Kentucky, Ohio, and Tennessee. The first one from Michigan, from Journeyman Distillery. It is handmade, organic. It's called WR Whiskey. And I don't really know what WR stands for. And distilled and bottled at Journeyman Distillery in Three Oaks, Michigan. It is 90 proof. Nothing more on the bottle except it is batch 62 and bottle 618. So let's see what it has on the nose. I can smell the corn. Now they're mash bills. I don't recall what they are, but they are high rye. There's that sweet, enough sweetness that it's like marshmallow. The rye, some grassiness there, dandelion I get. Okay. Little dirt. Let's put it on the palate. Creamy. It is sweet. There is dandelion. I get the earthy taste of it. At 90 proof. There's a little bit of a sting on the tongue. I'm thinking that's mostly the rye spice. Nothing distinct. There is kind of a butter that's been left out in the heat and back on the tongue. Do I enjoy this? Yes, I enjoy this. It's definitely different. There's that ground, like your lawn, like the grass. We'll come back to that. That's the Journeyman Distillery WR Whiskey, and that is located Three Oaks, Michigan. The second one that I have is from Colorado, and it's rye whiskey. It's their White Dog. It is 101.7 proof, and it's from 291 Distilling, hand distilled and bottled by Distillery 291, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Distilled from a rye malt mash, 101.7 proof. And there's a sticker on it that says World Whiskey Awards 2020 Best American New Make. And they say it's aged a minute in an American oak barrel. This definitely smelling the rye. It is sweet. It is appley. If it goes on the tongue like it's coming on the nose, wow. Yeah, let's taste this. I almost taste a little woody there, but obviously you can't pick up much in it being in a barrel 1 minute. The rye, the malt, definitely the malt coming through. Sweetness. I don't know, a little metallic, I think. Kind of like when you were a kid and you put a penny in your mouth. So poppery in a way. The apple really doesn't come through. There's more of a nut flavor. It does not drink at 101.7. It is very nice on the tongue. Maybe grape, almost an artificial grape flavor. It is so unique. I love it. Very nice. And when they do place it in the barrel and they leave it age, now they use small barrels. I believe they're 30-gallon barrels. They're at altitude, definitely over 7,000 feet in Colorado Springs. So things tend to age a bit faster. When they finish their bourbon and their rye, they do it with charred aspen wood staves. That just gives it such an amazing, different flavor than anything that I've drank. I will be going to that rye whiskey at a later time. But now it's White Dogs. It's those things that come off that still, whether it's watered down a bit or whether it's coming off the still at still strength. The next one is Kentucky Whiskey by Buzzard's Roost. This is Buzzard's Roost Whiskey Row Distillery. It is 115 proof. Now, whether that's as it comes off the still, it says here at Buzzard's Roost, our innovative approach to maturation allows us to deliver unique flavor profiles into our whiskeys. The new make whiskey in this bottle has been carefully crafted to offer exceptional flavor potential for the future. Sit back, relax, and roost a while. We hope you'll enjoy this new make as a glimpse into the future. I did pick this up at Buzzard's Roost on Whiskey Row. Actually, 291 Colorado Rye Whiskey I picked up while I was in Colorado at their distillery. And the same thing with the Journeyman WR Whiskey. I picked that up at Journeyman Distillery in Three Oaks, Michigan. Wow, Buzzard's Roost, what are you doing in this glass? This is definitely different than the last glass. But again, that is a new make rye whiskey I just drank. This is their new make at Buzzard's Roost for their bourbon. Whoa, that corn. Oh, come on. Fresh off the stalk. Whoa. Vegetal this time around. Oh boy. I remember tasting this. For me, as I sit and twirl and get my nose in the glass, one nostril than the other, while I have different ones sitting in front of me, sometimes what I had smelled initially when it was just that in front of me is definitely different. On the tongue. You know, that takes me back to when I was a kid and grew up out among the cornfields and the soybean fields. That flavor on my tongue. So there's some butter, and there's definitely corn there. Sweetness. Some of these are hard to describe. I'm just getting so many flavors. A nut, maybe pecan flavor in there. And again, it's 115 proof. I set them up lowest to highest proof here. And then I'll go backwards and see how things are. That Buzzard's Roost is so good. Yeah, cooked corn. Man, reminds me of Sundays when we'd go to my grandma's house on my mom's side. She'd have mashed potatoes and gravy. She'd have corn. She'd have green beans. We're talking homemade dinner rolls and either a roast or a roasted chicken. That's come on Buzzard's Roost. Wow. That is like that. It just smells like a Sunday meal all in one glass. Their new make. That is amazing. That is amazing. Okay, so that's three, the first three. My fourth one comes from Ohio. Hocking Hills Moonshine. It's their Buckeye Lightning. It's their Ohio corn whiskey. And it is 120 proof. I've had this several years now. I think probably I've had this 5 years. Yep. I've had this sitting 5 years. The bottle, it's got 2/3 out of it. I've got 1/3 of the bottle left here. Ohio Buckeyes, Hocking Hill, corn whiskey. Let's see how this is. Man, it is sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet on the nose. The corn is there. More probably corn syrup than the corn on the cob or something that comes right off of the stalk. All right, let's go in for a taste on this. Whew, is it sweet? Okay, Not as sweet on the tongue. Oh, there's that metallic flavor. There is a medicinal on that. Probably a little more tails in there than what some of the others are. Not so much my favorite on that. It is definitely straight corn whiskey, where the others have corn and rye, malted barley in there. All right, the last one has a warning on it that it's flammable liquid. It is 135 proof. This comes from Tennessee Shine Company, and I picked this up in Gatlinburg, Tennessee when I was there. It is their straight off the still corn whiskey, and it says respect the shine. I only have a little bit of this left, and I only have the 50 ml bottle here. Let's see, what do we have on the... Oh, I just got mint off that. Yep, I get some field dirt, grassy. There's not really a lot of sweetness, but man, you know, that ethanol coming off of there. Well, let's see what it is. You know, I kind of get a bit of what you would put on charcoal to light it, like charcoal lighter fluid. There you go. And it says it's flammable, so here we go on the tongue. Ooh, soapy. Interesting. It's a good question for me is, why does it taste soapy? Metal? That is... I'm not sure how I explain that. Alright, so we've had white dogs in front of us, 5 of them, and let's go through them again. I'll go in opposite order. Don't think I want to try that Tennessee Shine too much more, although there's very little in that bottle anymore. In that tiny little jar. Tennessee Shine Company has a warning on it. Flammable liquid. Caution. Do not use for flaming. It is so small. How in the world are we supposed to read this? I am unable to get Tennessee Shine in Indiana. One has to go to Tennessee for this. Alright, put it on the tongue again. On the nose, it hasn't changed any. A little plastic in there too, I'm just gonna say. Alright, plastic and a bit of soap, like dish soap. There's almost an artificial sweetness that comes through there too. Artificial sweetness that comes through. Alright, well, if anybody else knows anything more about the Tennessee Shine Company, please let me know, because I enjoyed going to Tennessee Shine. It was my favorite tasting of the moonshines in Gatlinburg. It was a lot of fun. Brought home a Tennessee Shine Hawaiian shirt. That was great. Loved that. They have some very interesting flavored moonshines. Definitely different than the other moonshines we find in Gatlinburg. I very much also enjoyed Hillbilly Golf. If you get to Gatlinburg, you need to do the Hillbilly Golf. You are taken up the hill, a mountain, and then you golf down it. Like, it's putt-putt golf, okay? And it is so much fun. So find yourself in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and get to Hillbilly Golf. And the other thing cool about Gatlinburg, it was just 2 years ago that I was there, is that there are free shuttles that you can take from Gatlinburg to Pigeon Forge. Free shuttles. And that is amazing, because then you can get to Dollywood and you can get to other tastings in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. All right, let's go back to our Buckeye moonshine again. Ooh, really sweet now on the schnoz. So, okay, I am not a fan of candy corn. This on the schnoz smells like candy corn. So let's put it on the palate again. I'm dreading this a bit. Okay, not so much candy corn. Let's look at this bottle again. This is from Hocking Hills Moonshine. It's the Buckeye Lightning Ohio Corn Whiskey at 120 proof. That's it. That's all they write on here. So, produced and bottled by Hocking Hills Moonshine, LLC, in Logan, Ohio. The bottle is really cool. It looks like a jug, a moonshine jug. It's clear, though. It's not brown, so you can see the clear moonshine in it. At the end here, I know I'm going to have some extra pour, and I probably will pour them all together. Well, except for the Tennessee Shine. That is gone. That won't be included in the togetherness pour. Let's calling it a togetherness pour. Now we're going backwards. And so as we go backwards, this is the Buzzard's Roost Kentucky whiskey. It's 115 proof. Question for you all. When you have pours left in your glasses, no matter what it is from a blind or tasting or whatever, would you include it in your infinity bottle? I mean, these are new make. I'm thinking maybe I might, after I've poured them together and had a taste, put them in my infinity bottle. Oh, that would be cool. Or I could actually start a new make infinity bottle. You tell me, should I start a new make infinity bottle? All right, Buzzard's Roost. You know, I very much enjoyed visiting Buzzard's Roost on Whiskey Row. It is a very nice location, and if I am correct, it is right there close to Green River and Pursuit Spirits and Bardstown, I believe, yes. So it's right there on Whiskey Row among them. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. On the nose now, going backwards on the nose, I get sweetness, candy, definitely corn syrup, really. Oh my. There is, you probably can tell that Buzzard's Roost is probably going to rank up there 1 or 2 for me as I rank them. Like I said, it is the Sunday dinner in a glass. It definitely takes me back to childhood. I think when you are sipping neat with ice, I think you should be able to sit back, relax, and just reminisce. Your pours should take you back to a memory. And it's honestly taking me back many years. When I was at Buzzard's Roost and I picked this up, I was told that they are still blending or contracting, but that hopefully soon they will be bottling from their own distilling. I'm looking forward to that. As we're going backwards, what is it? It's our 291 Colorado Rye Whiskey White Dog, made in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's 101.7 proof. Oh, now I am in a meadow. Oh, a glorious meadow. A meadow of flowers, greenery. Whoa, right. Man, I just want to sit and smell this. You're just going to have to bear with me just for a little bit. Because this is wonderful on the nose. Now, I am a rye person. I'll have to tell you that it could be my first or second between Buzzard's Roost and 291 Colorado Rye Whiskey. And I know they're different. This is rye versus the White Dog of a bourbon. I get the slight mint now. I also have to say baby powder. Now that's weird. Oh, there's the grape. The big grape flavor now. 291 Distilling. It is www.291coloradowhiskey.com. Go and get yourself some of their White Dog and their rye whiskey that is finished with aspen staves. I may have to say 291 and Buzzard Roost are a tie, because obviously one's rye whiskey, the other one's a bourbon. Or not a bourbon yet. Okay? Don't tell me that I called it a bourbon when it's White Dog. I know the last one is the 90 proof from Journeyman Distillery in Three Oaks, Michigan. Okay, Journeyman Distillery. Make this a higher proof. Don't water it down to 90 proof. I have tasted your Corset, Whips, and Whiskey White Dog. Honestly, give me that over WR Whiskey. And I've been through your tasting, and it is amazing. So if you get to Three Oaks, Michigan, make sure you visit Journeyman's Distillery. It is quite a distillery. And also eat in their restaurant. It's amazing food. Alright, let's put this back on my tongue and see if I can even taste a 90 proof whiskey after the rest of it. Alright, watery. But there is some silkiness on the tongue. It does leave you with a bit of flavor. Not a lot. Some grape there. It tastes a bit like lip gloss. What flavor of lip gloss? I think the pink sparkle. Now I have to go back all the way to high school for this lip gloss thing. Interesting. So now it's every glass into one, except for the Tennessee Shine. And we're gonna swirl that around a bit. The rest, I think I will dump into my infinity bottle. It's only going to be maybe 5 to 10 milliliters, so I'll see. Alright, what's going to dominate in this glass? Because pretty much it was all equal parts. I get that Buckeye Lightning coming. Buckeye Lightning and the 291, but let's see. Yep. That leaves a minerally flavor on the tongue, and I'm going to call that a tasting. Hey everybody, I want you to know that drinking some White Dog does prepare your palate for the bourbon or the whiskey that you choose to drink. I am going to say, grab yourself some of the distillery's White Dog, if available, because you can take it and their aged whiskey and determine whether you can taste their mash bill in their bourbon or their whiskey. I would like to hear from you as to whether you do drink the distillery's White Dog or not when they have it available. Let me know. I am on Spotify. I am on Apple Podcasts, which places my podcast on any podcast app that you may use. Also, please find me on Twitter, which is now called X, at the Whiskey Granny, or at capital T, capital W Whiskey, capital G Granny, and you may find me there. Like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you again on the porch of the Whiskey Granny.